Advertising is in the eye of the beholder. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. I have, for those of you who are listening rather than watching, we have this little meme that I popped up. Shows a cat has shredded this chair. It's just a picture of the cat sitting in this chair, in this office chair, and it says designed chair and the designer for sale type of thing. And so it's a funny idea, but it really brought me to the idea of how art can be anything. Your cat can shred a chair, and you can call that art, and in the right circles you'd be able to sell it for a lot of money. A lot of us laugh about that type of thing, but really art really is in the eye of the beholder. It all depends on what it means to the person who's purchasing it or beholding it. And so when it comes to advertising, it's the same thing. Advertising can be anything. It can take any format. It can be paid or it can be free. It can be this guerrilla style marketing, or it could be a person waving, swinging a sign on a corner, which I remember when that started becoming popular back in I believe it was the 90s, when you started seeing large. We started seeing it in Northern California around the time when there was a huge real estate boom, and so you had a lot of new houses available for sale and new housing developments, and you'd see these guys on the corner waving their signs there. That was the first place I recall seeing that being done, where people were getting paid specifically for standing there and swinging a professional sign. And that was always interesting to me. But it's advertising. Everything can be advertising. If you want to get somebody to do something else, you're taking part in advertising, and advertising has kind of a bad connotation. But when it comes to being an entrepreneur or a business owner, somebody that kind of is in charge, if you're an executive of a company, it's the same idea. You have to be willing to see anything and everything as being advertising. It doesn't matter whether it comes through the mail or whether it shows up on your phone. It doesn't matter. If you have a communication with somebody trying to get them to do something else, you're advertising. You don't even have to be in business. It could be a church, it could be a nonprofit, it could be anything. If you're trying to get somebody to do something and you're doing it more than one person at a time, you're committing advertising. I hate to tell you, but that's how it works. And it's an interesting concept because it only takes place in a free society. Okay, if you don't have a free society, you can't have persuasion. Persuasion only works when I'm talking persuasion, I'm talking non-forced persuasion. Okay, persuasion only takes place in a society where force is not allowed. And that's, we live in a time period and a place where that's not as much the case as it once was. But if you talk to anyone who's from a country where force was how people got things done, the government forces people to do this, or a tyrant, or a local mobster or whoever. There's always somebody trying to physically force people to do what they want. As soon as you remove that element, or to at least a large extent you remove that element, then all you have is persuasion. And advertising is the backbone of all that. Advertising, marketing, whatever you want to call it. That is the backbone of a free life, is you have to convince the other person with your words, with your actions, that they should do something that you want them to do. And most of the time we think of that as, you give me money for this product or service. That's how we think of it. But it goes far, far beyond that. And these concepts of persuading people and having a conversation to get people to do what you'd like them to do, it's been frowned upon, and the words like salesman and other things have gotten such bad raps through the years. But really, if you look at it properly, advertising really is in the eye of the beholder. It's everywhere. And depending on how you're looking at something, everything is advertising to some extent or another, good, bad, or otherwise. That's all I got for today. I want you to go check out my book if you haven't yet. 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. It's still available at the time of this recording. You can go to amazonproofbook.com and get a free copy. That's all I've got for tonight. You get out there and let the magic happen.